Good morning.
Good morning.
I was jiggy. How are you?
I'm great and yourself.
Good. How was your week?
It was actually it was a week, but it was good. How about
Okay.
yours?
It was the same. Busy. It's dark outside right now, so it's about to
Uh-oh.
storm. It is dark. Preferably we won't have no problems. And all is well. All right. Let's get this party started. Uh let me ask. What if the biggest evaluation and management billing change in years is hiding inside a rule most coders, health information professionals, compliance officers, and the like only skim? Are you ready for what CMS just proposed? So, welcome to our Saturday morning tea. Here we brew up the hottest topics in healthcare. We discuss health information news, education, how the weeks, certification tips, and entrepreneurship, and really the revenue cycle at large. And as you come in, don't forget to hit the thumbs up or like button. I'm Clarice Warner, the girl with the pearls, the founder and senior education director of the Professional Reimbursement Network, LLC, where coding education is key. And PRN is a healthcare compliance consultancy located in Cincinnati, Ohio, that specializes in revenue cycle and regulatory compliance and education. Now, let me ask, yes, you know what it takes to be a certified marketable medical coder? Well, before I introduce my co host, let me share with you information on a free 99 email course on the 5 steps to become a certified marketable medical coder. Are you interested in medical coding, but not sure where to start and scared of wasting time and resources? Let me help you with the right steps to become a certified marketable medical coder. Learn more at bit.ly/5stepscoder. See, I just realized how old that was because I saw the little bird. I said, oh, we don't have birds anymore. It's Texas. That's how old that is. I need a refresh. We're going to keep the music, though. We're going to keep the music. So, if you are interested in getting more information about the 5 steps to become a certified marketable medical coder, check the video description for the link. Joining me today is my partner in success, my co host, Mr. Jesse, the registered trademark. Put some respect on his name, the coding nurse. Introduce yourself and tell the folks all about you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jesse. I live in Philadelphia. I've been a nurse for a long time. I left the bedside in 2014. Started out in risk adjustment auditing, transitioned and did all the things, worked around. And in 2020, I created a company, the Coding Nurse LLC, where I help nurses and other people in healthcare with a clinical background transition into the wonderful world of HIM.
And how is that working?
It's coming along.
It's coming along.
Coming
All
along,
right.
yeah.
Hey. Slow and steady wins the race. I
Yes.
like to always say. I like to always say. All right. Well, before we jump in, let me remind you that you can join in and add to the conversation. Don't be shy. Your opinion matters and is welcomed here. So, friends, please use the chat. And if you have a question for us, just type Q first so we know it's for us and we don't miss it. All right. So, for those who are just joining us or watching the replay, today we are talking about calendar year 2027 Medicare physician fee schedule proposed rule. But first, let's get into our church announcements. Hey. Hey. Ooh, boy. If only you knew what the world is now. Ooh, goodness. All right.
He would be like, I'm staying right where I am.
Right. Sweet home Alabama and Georgia and all the places. Woo. All right. So, first announcement to our PRN hot tea sippers and PRN elite communities on Patreon. Both of these groups of folks, get exclusive resources built from today's episode. And if you're interested, click on the QR code for more information. Also, our topic or our episode's topic touches on a proposed rule that's open for public comment, and we'll give you the exact details on how to weigh in a little later in the show. My second announcement, and this one is a career nudge. So there's been a lot of buzz recently around utilization management, or UM, and these roles. And I want every health information professional listening to hear this clearly. Don't let a job posting that says nursing preferred or RN required talk you out of applying. Don't do that. Utilization managers have long served as a resource for clinicians determining the appropriate patient status. That work centers on which clinicians are involved, how communication happens, and how status orders get entered. And because those processes can vary so widely from one organization to the next, understanding what's compliant, what carries risk, and what simply is not allowed is the real skill at the heart of UM work. And friends, that is exactly the lane health information, coding, and CDI professionals already live in every single day. So you are clinical. You understand medical necessity, documentation integrity, regulatory compliance, and payer requirements at a depth that translates directly into utilization management work. So if a UM has been on your radar, I want to encourage you, apply anyway. Lead with your credentials, lead with your documentation and compliance expertise, and let your resume make the case for you. Because it could all be so simple once you see the skills you already have for exactly what they are. Mr. Jesse, do you have any church announcements for the people?
Before I go into my church announcement, I just want to amen your church announcement.
Like, don't let that stop you. Go get it. Go get it.
Please and thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So my church announcement is I am launching. It's a coding nurse first. I'm having a live webinar Saturday, August 22nd at 2 p.m. And this is for nurses who are trying to transition into HIM. Because what I've realized is, I have so many people who always reach out, and it's like they don't have any idea. Like, all they know is, I want to get my CPC, but you want to get into inpatient CDI. No, ma'am. That's not going to work. So one of my friends gave me the idea. So I have started an email launch already, and I have 14 people signed up so far. So if you know any nurses who are interested, just mosey on over to thecodingnurse.com, and I have a promotional pop-up that will pop up. Just hit the register button and join in.
All right. Well, I will definitely get that information and post away, and let's make sure that folks who are interested in that, even though you know how I feel about you bringing these people over into my profession, but
you know what?
To help my friend, I will send over the
what
information.
I do, when I teach my class, I always tell nurses, like, no. Like, there were coders doing this way before we even thought about it. and they are co-workers. It's not, no.
We in this together. We in this together.
Yes.
Don't be come over here with that air of that air that nurses have sometimes.
Right.
Some nurses, yeah, don't get your feelings hurt over here. But anyway,
That's all right.
but I would definitely I'll post that information for the people. Yes, definitely. Well, I am so proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm gonna wish and pray for much success in the August 22nd at 2 p.m. live webinar that the coding nurse will be hosting primarily for nurses, but anybody can come, right?
Anybody, yeah.
Okay.
And actually, I'm doing next Saturday. I'm doing a woman who is in Black Nurse Entrepreneur. She is in Georgia, and her church, I think, is really great because I don't think churches have stepped up enough, in my opinion, with what's going on in our community. But her church is doing a career summit. They're doing a career seminar series. So she reached out to me and asked me would I do a presentation on medical coding, because she said she has people who are nurses and non-nurses who are interested in medical coding. So next Saturday I'm doing a presentation. I haven't gotten
that
any
was
links.
A whole other announcement you ain't want to.
But I don't even have a I don't have a link.
Wow. See how to pull it out of you. Come on, sir. Come on.
Look, I gotta make sure I'm invited. I don't even have a link yet.
When I know, you know, right?
Yeah.
Some of that. That's what's up.
I just think that we've talked about this for ages on this channel. I just don't think these associations and organizations do enough to get the message out. Like, we need people. We need good people.
Good people who ready to, put their nose to the grind and learn all they can learn and do all they can do, and get these coins, because there's coins out here.
And also, like, there's a lot of people don't know, but these there's a lot of money for people if they're interested in coding, especially people who have either lost their jobs or have had to take they've lost their job, but they found a job that's paying less than what they were making before. You qualify for training.
That's right. And that's a big push in our current administration and some of the legislation that they have, at least across, I want to say it's probably across all states, or maybe it's federal, but I know it's across states that, make this available to people. And they finance it, they fund it. So yeah, there's no reason why. It's up to you. Execution. That's right. Execution. All about the execution. I saw somebody's video this morning and they were like, I'm not the smartest person in the room. I'm not the best. I don't have all the answers. A lot of times I don't even know. He said, but the reason that I feel that I am successful is because of execution. I think about it. He gives it to me. I think about it. I put it to work. I move. I do. Period. Execution.
Listen, so many people get stuck before they even get to action, and that's where right. That's right. Always gonna move.
Yeah, you're so true. Or they get caught up in perfection, or it has to be perfect, or it has to be this, or it has to be that. It does not. It just has to be.
And people don't understand, like, whether you believe it or not, but it's not only spiritual, but it's science. You have to put things into action.
We done gave a whole word
already
in 15 minutes, right?
Tomorrow is first Sunday.
It is. I should have had the white gloves ready. Oh my goodness. All right. So let the tea spilling begin. Good morning again. Good morning again. And welcome or welcome back to the Saturday morning tea where we serve up the real talk our profession needs. We pour up something warm, something real, and something that genuinely matters for your career in health information, medical coding, and compliance. I'm Clarice Warner, the girl with the pearls, with my partner in success, the coding nurse. And if you're new here, welcome. We meet every Saturday morning to break down medical coding, billing, and everything that keeps the healthcare revenue cycle flowing. And talk about the things in healthcare that actually matter for your career, your entrepreneurial dreams, your compliance, and your paycheck. And to my returning friends, thank you for being here. Get your cup. Again, no judgment on what may be in your cup, and come on in the room. So, on July 14th, 2026, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, aka CMS, released the calendar year 2027 Medicare Physician Fee Schedule, or the PFS, proposed rule. And friends, this is not a light read. It'd be a lot. I tell you, it would be a lot. But there is a lot in here that touches your daily coding, billing, and compliance work directly, especially if you're working on the professional physician or provider side. Now, I know the temptation is to skim the fact sheet and move on with your day. Trust me, I've done it. But sometimes you got to dig a little deeper, like, well, wait a minute, you said what? Let me find out the for real. You can get all the things you need when you go and dig directly into the final rule and or Federal Register. But today, we're pulling out the three pieces that I think matter most to you. The proposed changes to evaluation and management visits overlapping with global surgical periods, the transformation of HCPCS code G2211 into a modifier, and new guardrails coming for remote physiologic and remote therapy monitoring. Because it can all be so simple when someone breaks it down for you in plain language. So let's get into it. All right, let's start with a change that I think is going to ruffle some feathers in surgical specialties: the proposed policy on evaluation and management visits that overlap with global surgical periods. And we touched on this last time as a church announcement when the proposed rule was released. But a quick refresher for anyone newer to coding: a global surgical period is a set number of days. It's either 0, 10, or 90 days, depending on the procedure, during which a routine follow-up care related to that surgery is already bundled into the payment for the procedure itself. You don't separately bill for those routine post-operative visits because CMS considers them already paid for. Here's what CMS is proposing for calendar year 2027. When a separately identifiable office or outpatient E&M visit is furnished by the same physician or another physician in the same practice on the same day as a procedure with a 0, 10, or 90-day global period, CMS wants to change how that gets paid. Under the proposal, whichever service is more expensive, the E&M visit or the surgical procedure, that one would be paid at 100%. So whatever costs most or is most expensive, 100% reimbursement. Everything else furnished that day on the same day would be paid at only 50%. Now, why is CMS doing this? Or their reasoning is that they believe there's duplicative payment happening, that when the same physician or group bills both a global procedure and a separately identifiable E&M visit on the same date, there's an efficiency and possibly an overlap in work that the current payment structure doesn't account for. This isn't a brand new idea either. CMS actually floated something similar back in the calendar year 2019 PFS proposed rule, and in the context of a broader E&M restructuring proposal. They didn't finalize it then, but they noted at the time that they continued to believe there were efficiencies being missed. So in a lot of ways, calendar year 2027 is CMS's circling back to unfinished business. Now, what does this mean for your practice? Well, you should review most frequent same-day E&M plus procedure billing patterns now before this is finalized. Documentation supporting medical necessity for a separately identifiable E&M service becomes even more critical, and your modifier 25 usage may come under increased scrutiny as this policy takes shape. So if you're in a surgical specialty or you code for one, this is absolutely something to bring to your compliance team's attention now, not after the final rule drops. Strong, specific documentation showing that the E&M visit was truly separately identifiable from the routine global period care is going to matter more than ever. Let's walk through a quick example because I think this helps it click. So, say a physician sees a patient for a post op wound check. That's a part of a 90-day global period. And on that same visit, the patient also brings up a completely unrelated new complaint, chest discomfort, for instance, that requires a separately identifiable evaluation and management workup. Under current policy, both could potentially be billed in full, assuming proper modifier 25 documentation. Under the proposed policy, only the higher value service gets paid at 100%. The other gets cut to 50%, regardless of how clearly separate that second issue truly was. That's the piece I want compliance officers and coding managers to really sit with. This isn't just a valuation adjustment, it changes the financial calculus of billing a legitimately separate N&M visit on a global period day. Even when your documentation is airtight, I'd expect modifier 25 audits to intensify, regardless of how this policy lands. So now is the time to tighten those templates. And also, I want to hear from you on this one. If the most expensive service gets paid at 100% and everything else drops to 50%, how is this going to change the way your practice schedules overlapping visits? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Again, I read everyone. Mr. Jesse, you have anything on this one?
Not really. Look, outpatient is not my area.
And I also read something else, and I didn't include this, but I think there is an RFI on looking at post-operative visits. So I think at some point CMS was having or doing a lot of data collection around post-operative visits, and what they have found was a lot of people don't come back for their post-operative visit. But in the surgical global period, these providers are being paid for it. So they're looking to see if there is a way to actually figure out how they need to reconfigure those global periods, seeing that and I want to say it was a very high number of people that actually just don't have their post-operative visit or come back for the post-operative visit. So in essence, CMS is probably feeling that they're just giving away some free money to folks because people don't come back, and they're thinking around ways to figure out what to do. And so I think there's an RFI added in this proposed rule for folks to consider. And I think they also mentioned that they're going to pause the documentation request or documentation review, but did want to hear back from people on what their thought, how this should be rectified. So yeah, I said, all right, here we go. AI.
That's interesting.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said that's interesting that
Very.
people don't come. I mean, I don't know if not paying is the answer, because some people do need it. Like, what happens if I don't know. I mean,
I don't know, or if they're going to carve that out. So the global period is your post-op and the surgery, and then have a separate. I mean, they already have the different in certain services, the different codes that carve that out, but maybe have a separate code that carves that out. They
Because
have modifiers for that now, but I don't know.
I, I would be interested to see, because I'm sure it's not across the board. I'm sure there's certain surgeries that it
Mm-hmm.
happens more so
Mm-hmm.
than others. Because I
Mm-hmm.
can't see somebody who had a stent put in not going back.
Right,
But
right. And oftentimes, like, the orthopedics, some folks are running
right.
back. They are running back. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So next, HCPCS code G2211. Woo, child. This one right here. This one
Now,
is directly going to hit your everyday E&M coding workflow. There has been so much talk about this code and its companion code. It's
I was going to say that I know about this one because I read about it all the time
it's like it's
in these
always
groups.
something. Yes.
Yes.
It was provide the information, then give some clarification, then come back and clarify that, and then folks still confused, and then no, we're not paying, and then stop paying it altogether, and it's okay. So let's talk about HCPCS code G2211. So quick history: G2211 is the Office and Outpatient Evaluation and Management Visit Complexity Add-on Code. Again, it's an add-on code, so it has to be added on to an evaluation and management service. CMS finalized this back in the calendar year 2021 PFS final rule, but implementation was delayed by statute. It finally went live for calendar year 2025. So many of you have only been billing this for about a year and a half with questions, concerns, issues, problems, all of the things. So for calendar year 2027, CMS is proposing two significant changes. First, they want to transition code G2211 from a standalone add-on code into a modifier. CMS is using a placeholder right now called Mod 1, which would be replaced with an actual 2-digit HCPCS modifier if this is finalized. Here's the payment mechanic. Instead of a flat add-on payment amount, this modifier would increase payment of the associated evaluation and management base code by 16%. And that 16% applies equally across every level of evaluation and management code. So instead of one fixed dollar amount tacked on, you'd see a proportional bump that scales with the complexity of the visit itself. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. CMS is also proposing a second brand new modifier. Again, the placeholder it now is Mod 2. And this one is worth a 32% increase in payment for the associated evaluation and management visit. Now, Mod 2 wouldn't be available to everyone. It's specifically for practitioners participating in a Medicare Shared Savings Program Accountable Care Organization, or an ACO, or participant providers in a long-term enhanced ACO design, which CMS calls the LEAD model. This modifier is meant to recognize the additional resource cost these practitioners take on for the longitudinal care. Remember in the description that longitudinal care was giving folks the blues. Things like maintaining total cost of care accountability and reporting quality measures that align with coordinated ongoing patient relationships. All of that was giving folks the blues in the description. And here's a detail that I think our ACO affiliated coders especially need to sit with. Use of Mod 2 would be voluntary, and it could be billed for all beneficiaries a provider provides or furnishes services to, not just beneficiaries specifically assigned to that shared savings program or LEAD model. But, and this is important, claims submitted with Mod 2 would be included in beneficiary assignment calculations. historical benchmark expenditures, and performance year expenditures for the shared savings program. So this is coding meeting value-based care head on. If you work with an ACO, this modifier decision isn't just a billing choice. It has downstream effects on how the ACO's whole performance gets measured. That is not a small thing. Let's think through the practical math for a moment. Under the current flat add-on structure, every eligible E&M visit gets the same fixed dollar amount tacked on, regardless of the level bill. Under the proposed 16% modifier, a higher level E&M visit, say a level 4 or level 5, would see a larger dollar increase than a level 2 visit because that 16% is applied proportionally. For practices with a higher acuity patient mix, that could mean a meaningfully different reimbursement picture than what you've budgeted for since calendar year 2025. And for those of you working inside a shared savings program, ACO, or a lead model practice, I'd encourage you to start modeling out what Mod 2 adoption could mean for your specific beneficiary population, not just for the payment bump itself, but for how it could shift your benchmark expenditure calculations in future performance years. This is exactly the kind of proposal where getting ahead of the modeling now saves you a scramble later. Be proactive, not reactive. So here's my question for you. Does converting G2211 from a flat add-on code into a percentage-based modifier make your documentation and audit trail easier or harder to defend compared to how you've been coding it since calendar year 2025? And I really want to know where you land on this, particularly because there was so much confusion and drama around this code. Mr. Jesse?
No, I'm still confused.
Keep it a buck.
Mhm.
I think everybody is going to be, but it's going to be interesting to see where this lands. And I'm interested, again, not only to see the comments that you provide for us, but see the comments that people will provide from this proposal, just in both the regular practice world and this ACO stuff, because I think that additional downstream stuff may give some folks some pause. So yeah, it's politics at its finest, right? You know, hey, we got this bill, we want to do this, da da da. But then in the fine print, we also want to make sure we do da 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 da. You ain't saying nothing about this. You push this. So what about this down here? And yeah.
Then when you have all of this back and forth and all this gray area, like how do you fairly audit somebody and then try to recoup?
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let's close out our deep dive with remote monitoring. And if your practice bills remote physiologic monitoring, known as RPM, or remote therapy monitoring, known as RTM, you're going to want to lean in for this one. CMS is proposing several tightening measures here. First, RTM services would only be allowed for established patients. No more furnishing RTM to a brand new patient relationship. Second, practitioners reporting either RPM or RTM would be required to furnish a separately reportable initiating visit tied to the onset of monitoring services. And here's the one I really want compliance officers and revenue cycle leaders to hear closely. CMS is proposing to only allow payment for RPM or RTM services when they're performed by clinical staff who are employed by the practice, not when those services are delivered by contractors. Yes, it gets interesting, doesn't it? If your practice currently uses a third-party vendor or contracted clinical staff to deliver remote monitoring services, this proposal, if finalized, could require a real restructuring of your staffing model. This is worth flagging to leadership now, not waiting for the final rule. At least put it on their radar so they know, hey, this may be something we need to change if this goes through. CMS is also proposing updates to how these services are valued under the physician fee schedule, since the cost of the monitoring devices appears to have come down compared to CMS's original estimates. And they're seeking comment on something bigger, potentially bundling the RPM and RTM CPT codes and creating 4 new HCPCS G codes to describe remote monitoring services altogether. Why the restructuring appetite? Well, CMS says this approach would address recommendations coming out of recent Office of Inspector General or OIG reports, which found that the current code family structure isn't fully addressing oversight concerns. Here's why I think that employed versus contracted staffing, that distinction deserves extra attention from every compliance officer listening today. The remote monitoring has grown quickly precisely because outsourcing the clinical staffing piece lets smaller and mid-sized practices offer these services without building out an entire monitoring department in-house. If CMS finalizes a requirement that only employed clinical staff can furnish RPM or RTM, practice relying on contracted monitoring vendors would need to either bring that function in-house, renegotiate their vendor relationships into a compliant employment structure, or step back from offering these services altogether. None of those are small decisions, and none of them happen overnight. So my advice, don't wait for the final rule to start having these conversations with your leadership and your vendor partners. Yeah. So here's some action items for your team. Audit your current RPM or RTM staffing model. Look and see what you got, employed versus contracted clinical staff. Confirm initiating visit documentation is in place and separately reportable. That's going to be a big draw. And at some point, probably a big auditing piece. So you got to find the things that they're going to, if they're giving you something new, they're going to let you try to do this for a while and see where it goes. And then all of a sudden, boom, let's go check. That's usually how it happens. Also, watch for potential CPT to HCPCS G code bundling. Again, this could change your entire coding workflow for monitoring services. And if remote monitoring services can no longer be furnished by contracted staff, what does this mean for smaller practices that have leaned on outsourcing this work? Again, I love to hear how you all are thinking about this one. Mr. Jesse, you have anything on this?
That can I tell you, I have been stuck on provided by staff and not contract services because do you know how many people have remote patient monitoring businesses and they contract with? Oh, I'm like, wow.
That was a big boom. It was one of those things that we saw exploding. And people want to know, well, wait a minute, what? Tell me the structure. Tell me what I got to do. Tell me the da. Oh, everybody gonna start having new conversations. There'll be some new conversations in the mix. All right. So pretty much that's our tea for today. Proposed changes to E&M and global period overlap payment, the transformation of G2211 into a percentage-based modifier with that brand new ACO specific mod 2, and tightening guardrails around remote physiologic and remote therapy monitoring. Again, this is still a proposed rule, which means CMS wants to hear from you. Here's exactly how to do that. Comments can be submitted at regulations.gov. And when you comment, be sure to reference file code CMS 1840-P. So it's routed to the correct docket. The comment period is open for 60 days from publication. So it closes on September 14th, 2026. So mark that date. because comments submitted after the deadline won't be considered at all. They'll be like, you wasted a lot of time because we ain't even looking at that. All right. If any of what we discussed today affects your practice, your patients, or your coding workflow, I strongly encourage you to submit a formal comment before September 14th. And you can do it collectively or you can do it individually. Your voice matters in how this final rule takes shape. And CMS reads these, and sometimes they publish them either individually or collectively. And specific real world examples from coders and compliance professionals really carry real weight. And remember, it can all be so simple when you have a community walking through this with you. So if today's episode helped, share it with a colleague who needs to hear it, and come pour your cup with us over at Patreon. Again, our PRN Hot Tea Sippers and PRN Elite tiers both get exclusive resources built from today's episodes. Quick reference materials, executive briefings, and more. And if you're interested in that, again, click on over on that QR code or come on over onto Patreon and check us out. All right. Mr. Jesse, do you have any closing thoughts for the day?
Well, it's kind of related because since we're talking about providers and all those good people,
All those people.
I was floored. I think it was Thursday or yesterday. I
Mm-hmm.
saw a video that was talking about the number of American physicians that are going to Canada to work. And they said that according to this article, this video, the number of American doctors applying to work in Canada has increased over 600%. And then I'm thinking, because I was talking to one of my friends about it. So I'm like, first of all, there's not enough doctors as it is. So if you have that large of an exodus, like the only people left to fill the gap, and I think they're perfectly capable, are nurse practitioners. But I'm like, but you have these doctors who are fighting nurse practitioners from having full practice authority. So I think pretty soon, like the compassionate sacrifice people will have to make some concessions.
That is interesting. So the American doctors are going to Canada.
Yes.
They're several blocks on having our overseas folks come here to work. So that shrinks the pool even further. Wow. So I wonder what's so different about Canadian medicine or their systems than it is here. I mean, I'm curious. I wonder.
Well, from what one of the ladies was saying, what the lady was saying, one of the providers told her is that they don't have the pressure to see as many people because now everybody is on productivity, even these providers.
Ever since these hospital systems start employing them, ma'am, sir, you are an employee and you need to provide and produce. Wow. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a lot going on. That's why I don't understand how anybody could not want to work in the healthcare industry. There's so many moving parts, and it's so
it's like a dramatic series over and over and over again.
yeah.
Just when you think you close to it, here comes a twist. Here comes something else that you may or may not have seen coming. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But we love it. It's our drama.
Look, it keeps me living indoors and with food.
All of that. Those things. All right, then. Well, that's our tea for today. Tea sippers. Remember, it can all be so simple when someone hands you the plain language version of all of the things. I'm Clarice Warner, the girl with the pearls. Be safe, be kind, and don't wish for it, work for it. And until next time, take care and have a great weekend.
Are we meeting at 10:15?
No, I have a funeral. Remember?
Oh,
I said my brother-in-law passed away and his funeral is today. So I have a funeral today. So we won't meet.
sorry to
But
hear
if we
that.
need to get together and meet, let me know. I
Okay.
can put something together. Or we can meet later
All
on
right.
because I'm not staying around all day.
Just
All
take the
right.
rest of the day and decompress.
Right. And then, well, I got to get on the road because I'll be in Macon next week. So
With the in the crib correspondent.
with the in the
Now
crib correspondent. No,
you're not even in
I'll
the
be
crib
working.
anymore.
No, no, right. In Montessori school soon, correspondent. But yeah, running around and running the house correspondent. But yeah, but I'll be available. So if you need anything, reach out to me.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you. See y'all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.